So who the hell is Daniel Cross?
Believe it or not, he used to be an assassin. The assassin, the way I've heard it told, but it turned out he was a sleeper agent for Abstergo, programmed to infiltrate and destroy the organization.
How did he know you were there? We could be compromised.
They must have caught me snooping inside their network and sent Cross to see what we were after. If they were aware of our current location, we'd know. Though, I will say this. It doesn't bode very well for future expeditions.
I've set up some cameras topside. If anyone shows up, we'll see it.
I suggest you go see about finding a socket for that power source. Or we can return to Connor if you prefer. All the artifacts in the world won't mean a thing without the key.
I wonder. No, the hologram lady Minerva, I believe, is not the thing about here. I think I forgot to point that out last time. I swear I did, but I didn't. Well, since we're up and about, let's check the emails. Okay. Oh, no. A visitor down here. It's Juno, yeah. I messed up. Juno, she's been appearing every now and then, through there, remind us to guard you well, find the key, blah blah blah, poof, disappears. Usual. Halloween. Yesterday, actually. I suppose. Which is today. Today when I'm filming this. I mean, yeah. Well, I suppose, hey then, it's technically a piece of Eden. It's not particularly exciting. It functions as a key as well, and as Hastings. Improvements. Again, you can read that. You can read this on your own if you can. The fact that it's SD, but yeah, the definition, it shouldn't matter much. Alright, now in the future, because it's the third. The future of the past of the present. It makes me wonder, because I read in the guide that there's only 12 sequences. I believe I'm on 6 right now, so it's 6 when the game officially starts. Before that's just tutorial, which hopefully they extend the next 6 sequences a lot to make up for the fact that the first half of the game was you messing around with someone else with that, again, which only half of the game unlocked. Guys, there wasn't the wanted posters, or just me killing everyone I want to see. Killing everyone I saw. Let's see. Accuracy. Oh yeah, for those of you who are asking, I think that's funny. Oh yeah, and in case you're asking, my Desmond cannot simply look into the look into the memory of Hathan, Connor's dad, and see his whereabouts to just, for fun and stuff. The reason why I can't do that is because the memories are passed down. Basically, it's like a clone. Basically, the memory of conception for a man, birth of a woman, which is when it's passed down. Basically everything happens after. Doesn't it's not passed down. Like I said, a clone or a save file. If you quick save, it doesn't. If you save once. And you do something, and then you do something, and then you lose what you did. It doesn't mean that you can do that. It doesn't mean that you do. You do the same thing as the thing you saved. Clone it and stuff like that. So No, you can't cheat like that. If that made sense at all, I'm not quite sure. Oh, look, sockets. So basically, you can't remember anything after Connor was conceived of Haven.
In the beginning,
Connor's dead.
when we thought we could be saved, we sought to face the sun's wrath and contain it.
If that's
4
in spheres and
towers
whatnot.
would be built to pull her fury into this place and dispel it.
Hey, you didn't put that in the North Pole.
But even
Why?
with all we knew, with all we had, it would take too long. 1,000 years we could labor, and still the work would not be done.
Get ready, slow people. We do
The
things
first
in 50
tower
years.
was never completed. The project abandoned. We moved on. But while we labored on other endeavors, a few returned. They thought to automate the process. Metal might finish what flesh could not.
This makes sense. Simple to make a machine let go at its work without having to look at it all the time. Oh, wait. So you're saying that the first tower might actually be finished? Oh, I almost fell off. If I didn't hit the trigger. Okay, so obviously these are the sockets. Oh, he didn't jump. He didn't jump to this side. I thought maybe I should have pressed A. Yeah, maybe I should have pressed A. I found the sockets.
Ah, Desmond, there you are. Can I ask a favor?
Maybe.
When
Sure.
this is all over, I'd like to try turning the dial back on the Animus. Like, all the way back. To the time of the first civilization.
You think it would work?
There was no real loss of
Why not?
fidelity when you visited Altair. Then again, that was about 1,000 years ago, and I'm looking at going back at least 70,000 more.
Sure, I'd be up for it. Be interesting to see what things were like back then.
Excellent.
Back way
I
then.
think it would prove most enlightening.
That'd be cool for a DLC. Or sequel. Or both. DLC then DLC then sequel. Expansion maybe.
Son?
Expansion DLC.
I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. You have to understand, I've never been very good at this. Never mind that we live rather extraordinary lives.
Yeah, I kinda liked my ordinary one.
You can't escape who you are, Desmond.
So I've noticed.
Look, it's silly for us to go back and forth like this. I admit, I did a shitty job raising you. I apologize, I'm sorry. But it's important you understand it didn't come from a bad place. You're my son. I love you. I guess I was so busy trying to make sure nothing bad happened, I didn't consider the consequences. Truce.
I can't believe it's taken me so long to ask, but how's Mom? She's not...
No. Your mother is fine. We decided it was safer if we split up for this job.
Always assuming the worst.
For good reason.
Can I at least say hi to her?
You
I'm
better.
sorry, it's too risky. Maybe when we're done.
Right.
Because when we're not
We're
done,
done.
that'd be forever.
Have we ever tried to make peace with the Templars?
Throughout our history, there have been moments. Several, in fact. But it's impossible. There are existential differences, insurmountable. If there were to be unity, it wouldn't be a truce so much as a submission.
But knowing what's about to happen, wouldn't it make sense to try and talk to Vidic? Come to an arrangement, even if it's only temporary?
We'd all be so busy watching our backs, nothing would get accomplished. Imagine that. We're more productive at war.
Well, have we ever tried sending in someone? Doing to them what they did to us with Lucy? Or Cross?
We have, and it's never worked. We've sent people who were either too weak and found themselves turned, or too strong and were unable to carry out the charade.
I just feel like we all want the same thing.
We use the same words, but that's all they are, words. In the end, it all comes down to freedom. We seek it, they detest it. And so there's never an end to the fight. Not until one side is completely gone.
Is that even possible?
Probably not. Our two groups have existed in one form or another since, well, since forever. But things can be better than they are.
If there's complete control, power, peace through power. Well, assassins just don't care, they just want freedoms.
Did you look for me, Dad? When I was gone?
Every day.
Come on.
I mean it. Every night I'd look, searching for your name or variations of it, hoping you'd slip up. Abstergo only found you first because they had better access. A few more days and it would have been me.
Well, I'm here now.
And I'm glad.
Do you think Lucy regretted what she was doing?
I used to think I knew her well, but clearly that wasn't the case. So I really can't give you an honest answer.
She seemed so sincere, though. Like she really wanted to make a difference.
Yes, well, when I first met him, I thought the same thing about Cross.
It just keeps happening over and over again.
What does?
Everything.
Don't get weird on me, Desmond.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. Don't worry.
All right, then.
Agreed.
You should think about getting back in the Animus.
That was actually a nice backstory. The thing you will only find if you played all the games and read in between all the lines, or you just go talk to him. In between, not getting back in Animus. Are you going to talk to him again?
So this is how it started.
What are you up to?
Just brushing up on my American history. I say history. They certainly teach you strange things in the States.
Like what?
Well, for all the talk of this being a revolutionary war, it was a civil one. Well, not that kind of civil. I mean, there was no America versus Britain. It was Brit on Brit action. And you can clearly see how the whole thing got started. One war gave birth to the other.
You mean the 7 Years' War?
Exactly. Seems the Crown overspent in its attempt to keep the French out, wound up with a great deal of debt. Believing that the colonists should help to shoulder the burden, new taxes were created. It was a reasonable request, even if Parliament was rather, well, undiplomatic about it.
Well, it's not really fair to tax people for a war they didn't want any part of.
What? Didn't want any part of? Did you not notice George Washington with Edward Braddock? He was right there in the middle of it. So here you have the Crown spending who knows how much money to secure a place for the colonists to thrive, and then, when they ask for a little bit of help... Right, look, think of it this way. King George and the colonists, they all go out to dinner, right? And when the bill comes, George asks for them to kick in and pay their share. Fair enough. But keep in mind, he's been taking them out to dinner gratis for decades now. The colonists, oh no, they insist they only had a glass of water and a side salad. Never mind the table's full of half-eaten food and empty bottles of wine. When the king points this out, what do the colonists do? Oh, they flip the table over and they storm out the restaurant. Probably intending to return later and burn it down.
You left out the part where the king pointed a gun at the colonists and asked them to cover dinner for everyone in the restaurant.
Right, yeah, interesting take. If he pulled out a gun, and I'm not sure he did, it would only have been after the 100th failed attempt at getting them to pay their fair share.
But how do you define someone's fair share?
Oh, well, with a war, apparently.
Yeah, I guess you can call the Revolutionary War Civil War. It was the American colonies versus the British, everything else, the British mainland and Australian colonies and everything else. Sprinting, jump. Talk.
I know everyone thinks I'm being silly, but I can't shake the feeling we're being watched.
We are being watched. By Juno. Or some version of her.
Do you think it's a recording? Or is she a ghost? Or something else? Is she talking to us the way Minerva talked to Ezio?
No clue. I mean, who knows what else they were working on down here? There's still so many rooms we don't have access to.
But do you think
Yes.
she's like literally down here, waiting somewhere, still alive?
Still alive? That's mental. That means she'd be at least 75, 80,000
Stasis.
years old? Oh, powerful, yeah, but not that powerful.
They came down here looking for a way to survive. Maybe they
And
found
all the
one.
things I've heard on Assassin's Creed Wiki and all the cutscenes I've watched of the second of Brotherhood and Revelations, I do believe they went to stasis. At least, you know, the 4 that are appeared in the games. So let's continue. Finally, as Connor. I got this. Even though the
Good
little
luck,
things go in
Desmond.
my head, I don't care. I got this.